I turned my dad into a neighborhood dating legend. And no, I am not proud, but also I will absolutely accept the fame. This escalated quickly.
I'm Liv, your emotionally exhausted, chronically online host, and every week we talk about life, relationships, internet chaos, bad decisions, awkward moments, and all the things that spiral way faster than they should. Today, a story about Dad, dating apps, and my well-intentioned meddling that turned a perfectly ordinary neighborhood into a soap opera with more plot twists than a daytime TV commercial. Section 1, the promise, the rules I broke, and the profile makeover. So here's the setup. My dad called me one Tuesday and said, Liv, can you help me make a dating profile for 1 week? He was charming and sincere, and I thought, how bad could 1 week be? Famous last words. I agreed because two things. A, he is delightfully confused by modern dating apps. He still thinks swipe right is a gesture you do at a baseball game. And B, he promised to let me run it for exactly 7 days. He also promised not to call me every time someone sent a heart emoji, which was a promise he did not keep.
Rule number 1, I immediately broke. No embellishments. I told myself I'd be honest. Then I uploaded photo number 1, a perfectly normal backyard shot of him grilling. He looked like a dad, but in a good way. And then I found an old fishing photo he swore was artsy and thought, that will get him likes. Spoiler, it got him inquiries from people who only wanted to discuss carp. Next thing I know, I'm curating his bio like I'm building a resume for a celebrity who only wants to score brunch dates.
The bio decisions were where the comic crime really began. We tried authentic quotes. You know, the kind that sound deep but are actually just leftover fortune cookie lines. One read, still learning, always grilling, which is both accurate and absolutely begging to be memed. Another said, looking for someone to share bad TV and good pie with. Cute, right? Except I didn't realize how many people take bad TV as an interview question. Also, we accidentally uploaded a candid from the duckface era, my dad making a face I deeply regret. That photo came with a 5-day flood of messages with emojis I had to Google. Then there were the photos I chose ironically. I thought a silly, clearly staged workout selfie would show he has a sense of humor. Instead, it attracted a man who sent 42 photos of his own biceps in triumphant succession. I tried for approachable father figure and accidentally clicked mysterious older gentleman filters. There was a whole evening where I realized the most authentic thing to do was literally just post a photo of his dog. That got more matches than Human Liv's editing choices combined. First date disaster. The first guy who actually accepted a coffee date? Absolute chaos. He arrived and within 10 minutes mistook my couch for an open forum. He sat down, sighed, and said, so, tell me about your relationships. Like I was on the therapist's couch, not a person trying to eat a cookie and drink coffee in peace. Then he launched into a heated dissertation about kombucha. Kombucha. At 2 p.m, my living room became a TED Talk about fermented tea's socioeconomic impact. He also tried to recruit my dad into a wellness startup and asked if our family would be open to doing a promotional video featuring the grill. I said no on behalf of my dad and the privacy of my neighbors. He left convinced he'd won some deep emotional connection with me because I listened to his 20-minute tea manifesto. My dad? He sent a text that said simply, he has good teeth, and then called me at midnight asking why people think fermented drinks are a personality trait.
Section 2, texting translation and the unexpected twist. All right, texting. If you've ever managed someone else's DMs, you know this is where the language barrier is not just linguistic, it's cultural. Men interpret emojis in ways that deserve their own anthropology course. A simple wink emoji from one match turned into a proposal in his head. A pizza emoji was translated as, I will cook for you forever. I found myself writing things like, he enjoys walks, and the guy replied with a plan for a 10-day hiking excursion that included overnight gear and the phrase, if you're comfortable. Comfort was not established. Then the DM spiraled into full-blown community theater when one match recognized me from high school. Apparently, I was in someone's yearbook, and also apparently a USB stick of very awkward senior photos circulates forever. He messaged my dad's profile asking if his date could bring a friend who recognized Liv. He then showed up at my apartment 3 days later asking if we could discuss old memories and present intentions while leafing through a paper copy of the yearbook. I am now convinced yearbook photos are legally binding invitations. The unexpected twist? An old neighbor feud resurfaced. Turns out, a woman from down the block had a decades-old grudge against my dad. Long story involving a misplaced garden gnome and competitive community bingo. And she kept messaging my dad, insisting on dates that were actually passive-aggressive interrogations about lawn ornaments. Within 48 hours, my dad's inbox had everything. Curious romantics, kombucha entrepreneurs, a guy who wanted a grilling collab, and at least one neighbor who wanted to settle property disputes over espresso. Section 3, cleanup attempts, what made it worse, and my hot take. I tried to fix it. I wrote apologies that sounded like press releases. I closed DMs like I was locking a tiny, furious chicken coop. And I even posted a clearly labeled for serious inquiries only photo, a tasteful headshot of my dad in a sweater vest that screamed responsible and available. It backfired spectacularly. The sweater vest attracted a knitting club. People messaged offering yarn recommendations and a starter pattern for empty nesters. My hot take after refereeing 7 days of this: letting someone else's dating life be your side project is a public service and a hazard. Boundaries are both a gift and a weapon. If you volunteer to run someone's profile, be kind but firm. And maybe don't use the duck face photo even if nostalgia clogs your brain. Also, men who treat dating like a hobby are often the most committed hobbyists. They love the equipment, the rules, and the unsolicited opinions about footwear. That's not inherently bad. It's just a vibe. Recap. I uploaded questionable photos, fielded a kombucha manifesto, translated emojis into entirely new life plans, survived a yearbook sighting, and accidentally reopened a neighborhood feud. Did I make my dad a legend? Yes. Did I learn anything? Also yes. Mainly, boundaries matter. Honesty is underrated, and sometimes the right photo is the dog's photo. If today's episode made you laugh, cringe, or consider hiding your yearbook under the mattress, do a small thing that feeds my ego and helps the show. Leave a review on Apple Podcasts or wherever you subscribe. Tell me your worst profile makeover, your strangest DM translation, or if you've ever been mistaken for someone in your high school yearbook. Every review makes me feel like a lesser monster for agreeing to manage someone else's romantic destiny. Join the group chat vibe. And if you want to help my dad avoid kombucha entrepreneurs, send him polite gifts about boundaries. If today's episode made you laugh, question humanity, or feel slightly better about your own life choices, then my job here is officially done. This escalated quickly. Stay chaotic.